MPs include supported contentious plans to construct a tertiary lane at London's Heathrow Aeroport. By the government won a key voice in the House of Commons by 415 votes to 119, a most of 296. Tory MPs were by orders to supporting by the government, but Boris Johnson, a guideline enemy of extension, skipped the voice since he was in Afghanistan. Labour's formal stance was to contrast extension, but its MPs were taking into account a complementary voice. The SNP abstained. 415 versus 119 did not voice, 116 the voice was welcomed by industry team the CBI as a really historical judgment how will outdoor the doors to a new era in the UK's world trade relationships. But Greenpeace UK told it was prepared to accede a Crucifix Party team of London councils and the town's mayoress, Sadiq Khan, in a legislative problem versus the tertiary lane. And Friends of the Land told in a declaration, MPs who supported the environment-wrecking new lane will be sharply convicted by Story. This testimony on the accelerator environment meltdown, that is already affecting the planet's largest sensitive human beings, is insurmountable, and expansion Heathrow will just strengthen the poverty. Ecological activists overstaged a rest-in above Heathrow in Parliament's Centre Hall, fair meters off of MPs' preparation to voice on the proposals. Police force blocked down the region following 12 protesters, who outlined themselves as of a priest up voice no Heathrow campaigning, sprawled through the story singing. By the government has incorporated the aeroport will be constructed at no price to the payer, will build 100,000 jobs and will gain the whole nation, via guarantee domestic air transportation to the otherwise of the UK. Ministers as well urge the draft will include constructed in ecological protections, in the capacity to penalty Heathrow or land plane if promises on overnight air transportation and some controversial issues are break. 8 prudent MPs elect versus by the government, consisting ex-office ministers Justine Gardening and Teresa Villers, Greg Hands, who obedient recent 1 week as World Trading Secretary, and Adam Afrai, Sir David Amis, Bob Blackman, Zach Jeweler and Matthew Offord. More than Labour MPs backed by the government rather than supported their lead Jeremy Corbyn, who had opposed the extension. The growth was backed by 119 Labour MPs, time 96 elect versus the Go. MPs of through the policy range, several in constituencies on the Heathrow flying way, tell out versus the schedule. At the begin of a 4-persons-hour discussion, Transportation Secretariat Chris Umber told Heathrow was complete and a new lane was necessary to safe a precise way to our next as a world nationality in the position Brexit planet. But in impassionate speaking, Labour's Dark Chancellor John McDonnell alerted how villages how had existed for 1,000 years would be graded off the person of the land to allow a business to maximize its profits. Down there are humane expenses to the judgment how the building as necessary to recognize and ponder up they voice this evening to worry about and decay my society one day once again on a program how will never, forgiveness the pun, get away, he said. Opposition MPs shouted wherever Sporus, as a prudent MP who obedient of by the government above Heathrow extension forced associate to accede him in opposed a tertiary lane. Ex-World Trading Secretary Greg Hands, who represents Chelsea and Fulham, grown concerns on air quality assurance and overnight air transportation but told it was a discussion on creature real to your speech and to yours poll pledges. Mr. Johnson told Next Mr. Hands sample an exit by the government to voice versus Heathrow would reach completely anything, up leaving on a travel to Afghanistan.